Saturday. I came down to the dock a bit early because I saw an article from CBC that was talking about our town, Norman Wells, as the expected next breakup point. And it's already 11 degrees, which is so nice. And it's so nice and sunny. Just beautiful day. So I've come down and I'll turn the camera around to give you a look. But not much has changed. The ice looks a little bit grayer, which means it's more likely to bust up. But the mountains are looking, well, they're very snow covered, but they're looking quite beautiful in the sunlight. And yeah, it's just a beautiful morning. Sat with the cats on the porch for a little bit. It's so nice that the temperature is what it is at this point in the morning. It's hopefully going to make that 15 degrees today. Hi, which for many of you probably does not sound like much, but we had a cold snap after the first bit of a 16-degree high days. We had a cold snap of about 3 weeks, so we'll take the below 20s. We'll work up to it. So I'm just going to turn you around here. So the beautiful sun of the day, the beautiful blue sky, feathered clouds all around, and really see the Mackenzie Mountains. Very snowy still at this point, but that should make for a good trickle down effect to any rivers and streams over there. Hello, good morning. Thank you for joining my live stream. It's such a beautiful day here. Autumn, hello. Thank you for joining. Just sharing the beautiful day that we have here in Norman Wells. It's such a nice start to a Saturday morning. Ethan, hello. Emmett, hi. Baby Gray, hi. Thanks for all for joining. That's awesome. I hope you're having a fairly nice Saturday morning so far. And isn't that a beautiful sunny blue sky view for Saturday morning? If any of you have tuned in to a couple of my lives over the last couple of days, the breakup that's along the river right now that I'm showing you is about the same as what it's been. And by the way, yes, all this wood up here is from prior years of how much the water level rose at that time. And I think it was probably 2020 when they had blocked up here for the water just down here. So that really goes to show you how much, not necessarily the water, but that mounds of ice push up the debris floating down. And you can see much more today. Let me see. I have my sunglasses on, so no, they're not logs, those are ice. My mistake. But the tree sitting over there on the ice floe, I don't think has moved yet, so. Oh, thanks for coming back then, Autumn. I just read your comment that you're a return viewer. That's awesome. If you haven't yet subscribed, please consider doing so. And I'm going to come back around lunchtime, as I had originally planned yesterday, to see where things are. But after the CBC article that I read this morning, I thought that maybe it might start this morning because our temperatures just started off beautiful this morning. And like I said, 9 might not sound beautiful to many of you because you've already got such warm weather in many parts down south. But yeah, 9 degrees was just sunny and warm and calm wind. Of course, it's breezier out where I am right now, but oh, those snowy mountains. Oh, by the way, the sorry, right there is man-made Esso pumping station, drilling station. I'm not quite sure what that's called. I do not have my microphone with me that I use with my iPhone because silly me, I didn't think to check the charge on it. So it's currently charging right now, so I'll be able to use it at lunchtime. But the wind is so minimal today that I think that's okay. I think you're able to hear me well enough. The last couple of days has been pretty windy, so that might have been a bit dodgy to hear me. If there's any birds sitting over there in the water, I can hear many. It's such a pretty thing in the morning to hear all the birdie song. Hi, Ethan. Hope everybody's having a nice Saturday morning. It's so peaceful, relatively quiet here. At least for now at this point in the day. It's almost 11 a.m. Just so much warmer than it has been. I think our daytime high is expected to be about 15, but our daytime high usually is about 5 or 6 in the evening. No, Ethan, I'm not in Alaska, actually. It probably looks quite similar. This is the Mackenzie River, and I'm in Norman Wells. And if you continue with the Mackenzie, Google it, probably, or Apple Maps would be a good idea. Then it leads to the Beaufort Delta, where Inuvik is, and then out to the Arctic Ocean. Ninja, where are you? I'm definitely not in China. Very far away from me. No, we're in northern Canada. Part of the reason why I named my channel Cats North of 65, because we're past the 65th degrees parallel. I'm not quite sure of that wording, but when you drive into the Northwest Territories from well, let's say high level, you'll see a 60th parallel sign, which I might have in my video history. And so we're at 65. We're there at 60. So Yellowknife is actually quite south to us, and Inuvik is farther south, just to give you some geography on that. Thank you all for joining. I really appreciate that, and the comments are really nice to get to know people. Sorry, Ninja, I don't know what you're talking about. You're talking about India, Africa, China, USA, yada yada yada. No, no, I'm not. Am I cold? Actually, this is the warmest day that we have had in weeks. We initially had a really nice warm a couple of days to a week when a lot of our snow melted, and then a cold front came through, and for about 3 weeks it was like -4-ish, -10 overnight. So I think this is the first week where it is going to be at least 0, possibly 4 overnight, which is really, really nice, especially for any kind of starting a a veggie garden or anything like that. I know even places like Manitoba, you have to wait until at least after May long, and this is May long, so but we have a little bit more time to wait. Where am I? This is Norman Wells in the Northwest Territories. Apple Maps or Google Maps is my suggestion. And this is, yep, that's all ice. This is the Mackenzie River. It flows from at least Fort Simpson. I don't know my geography well enough. I should look at the map. Somebody else, I think, coming down to check out where the river's at. Yep, it's all ice, and we're waiting for the big breakup of the river. So this is the starting bits of some of the ice chunks. And not to sound like a broken record early in the feed, that's our HRN, their local company. You can just hear their truck without putting them in the feed. CBC had an article this morning, I think I found it on Cabin Radio, that the people watching the river, the particular departments, think that fully believe that we are going to be next up for the river breaking up. So everybody's keenly checking out the river. Why is some of the ice black? Possibly dirt. There's a lot of logs floating. A lot of debris comes down river from around the Fort Simpson area. So that may be what you're seeing. And otherwise just debris, and as the ice melts, it goes gray. Have you been to Michigan? No. And right now, I unfortunately, with the way the states are with crossing the border, not gonna happen anytime soon, sorry to say. I am very much Canadian in Canada. Hello, TV Yoshi. I'm just gonna switch views here, and down here you can see the end of the dock. So I think actually the water is falling a little bit. Not to put my finger in the mix here, but that is the end of the actual dock. And last year, before last fall actually, I think it was after the river broke for what the river level was, there was 8 to 12 feet. I'd have to go back into the my video and photos from then, but some of you are asking why I'm not commenting on every post, because I'm not. If it's relevant, then I will, but if you're asking me to do something and I choose not to do it, that is a choice that I have. So fortunately, if you're not happy with that, then you don't have to continue watching. I obviously would like very many people to watch my feed and be interested in the same thing, but that's not always going to be the case. So for those of you that are liking the content, that's awesome. I appreciate that, and I hope that can continue, and give it a like, and give the video a like, give the channel a like, and consider subscribing. I had posted many shorts on the birds in the last few days, and to me it was just amazing the amount of birds that were coming in. But we figure that the lakes around here were just still too frozen that they couldn't actually land and use the water there, but they could here. Ethan, you had a tornado. I'm guessing you're in the States. I do subscribe actually to Westman Storm Chasers in Manitoba. So I see many of the storm patterns going on there, and they include Saskatchewan and some of Ontario and stuff. And they sometimes repost from storm chasers in the US. And, you know, of course, along that line, I'm a fan of the movie Twister and Twisters. I don't want to ever actually be near one to experience it, however. Ninja, you're a little prolific with the comments. Michigan, in the city or in the outskirts of Michigan? As far as I know, they don't usually hit the cities, but I'm not a weather person. I don't know all the ins and outs, but weather is changing, has been changing. Hopefully everybody is okay from that tornado, Ethan. Or as okay as one can be after a tornado hits. Every once in a while I can hear some splooshing, which is usually ice breaking up and moving in the water, as it would. And as it breaks up more, and be interesting to see if there's bigger chunks or if the ice, well, to use the ice once it's frozen, they monitor the ice thickness so that anybody I wouldn't say walking over it, skidooing over it, can do so safely. And of course, there's different weights that are allowable on different spots of any body of water that freezes. For the Winter Road, the Mackenzie Valley Highway project, there is a website under, I think it's under GNWT or just Northwest Territories, where they have to measure the ice thickness in order for certain ice crossings to open. So there's not much. There's a couple of birds that I can hear. I think I'm going to wrap this up and then come back out in about an hour or two and see if there's any more progress on the river. Oh, you know what? I just spied some of the ice that I was talking about. Now you cannot see the blue tinge, but it's definitely gray because that's just what happens with melting ice. But you can, I don't know how well you can see the striations there. Oh, sorry. There we go. Trying to move with the flock of birds is interesting though. I always think it's cool to see the birds flying off, especially in groups. Ethan, are you a storm chaser? I noticed that you just said oh, it went through. Sorry, I misunderstood that. It went through Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Illinois. It had quite the path. So I'm going to wrap this up, and I hope that many of you will come back for the next live. Like I said, probably 2 hours from now, I'll come back and see if there's been any difference in the river. And see if there's any more birds too. I always like to see more of the birds flocking about. Bad pun. All right. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a good rest of your morning. It's not the same time zone, but from my perspective, good rest of your morning. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.